story for y'all. I'm trying to get into talking about God because this is something that's new for me. Like actually dipping and dabbling into the Bible. But honestly, I don't really know like what to relate this to in the Bible. All I know is that this is of God, you know? So, to get with the story. Okay, I know I braid hair for a living, so I had this client and she was really sweet, really nice. Like, she was a new client as well. And she came and she was getting a twisting, like a passion twist sort of style. And I'm like a really like, what would you call it? I have certain requirements for certain styles. And so I had texted her before I ever met her, like, hey, did you buy this hair? She was like, yeah, it's already at my house. Like, she had ordered it, that hair that I use is on Amazon. And she was like, I can drop it off to you if you'd like. And I was like, oh, no worries, it's cool. Because usually I'll have people send it to my house so that when they get here, the hair is already ready. I have to prep the hair and that takes about like 10 to 15 minutes. No big deal, right? So she gets here and I look at the hair because I'm thinking she ordered the one that was on my website, you know, that I recommended, blah, 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 whatever. It wasn't that one. So the hair took about an extra, like, what, 30, 40 minutes before I actually got started on her hair. And in my head the whole time I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to charge this lady extra? Because, you know, extra time, extra work, like, can I get some extra money? Like, you know, you didn't really like specifically follow, you know, what I usually ask of. And, you know, that's just, it happens a lot. And if you're not really communicating, you can't really expect somebody to do X, Y, and Z. But, you know, when I have a website, sometimes I think like, oh, like, you know, since it's on my website, they'll read it and follow the directions. But as a business owner, you always know that that's not the case. So fast forwarding to, I'm undoing the hair, and again, this is my first time meeting her. We're talking, she's like almost facing me in the salon chair, and she's telling me her whole life story, like, out of nowhere. And not like, I'm very open to stuff like that. Like, I love hearing people's lives, and she's been through a lot, like, in her short time being here on this earth. And like, she was like, I just realized like how invincible I am, like, you know. And I was like, damn, yes girl, you are. And so, you know, at that point when we got into 3 hours in the appointment, because mind you, I didn't say anything about charging her extra because I'm always afraid, I'm scared, I don't really know how. And then I also did her parts bigger than what she asked for, and I did not let her know. And as a stylist, that was my fault. I should have, because I know people have issues, you know, when they're paying for something, they want, you know, what they're asking for, and that's completely understandable. Her hair was on the thinner side because of some sicknesses that she was dealing with, so it's very thin. And kind of just like it needed to be restored. So I felt like smaller braids would put more tension on her hair because that's how thin it was. Like they weren't thicker, it was just the bigger parts. The braid was the same, but the parts were bigger. So I did her medium twist because her hair was so thin it wouldn't really be able to hold on to the twist, if that makes sense. So I'm already like, okay, now I'm not even getting the total I was supposed to get for the style was $160. So since I did medium, my price is $140. And at the end of the service, I just decided, okay, she's gonna pay $140 for these medium parts because I already gave her something she didn't ask for. And you know, it's still really cute. It's still like super bomb. I didn't like expect her not to pay me or anything. But she looked in the mirror, she said she loved it. Like, she's so happy to feel like, you know, beautiful and all those things, right? And so I told her the total was $140. And she's like, okay. So she's going through her cash, whatever. And I was like, oh, wait. No, it's not 140. You already paid a deposit, which was 45. So your balance is 95. And then she was like, oh. And then, so she said, well, I'm just going to give you 140. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, like, stop. And then I was like, thank you, like, I accepted it. But so here's the thing with, you know, getting to God. So I had already like wanted to stick to business and be like, you know, you brought the wrong hair, X, Y, and Z. But I also don't really have a policy for that, because usually I like try to communicate before that, but I didn't. So I want to be like, yeah, since you brought the wrong hair, X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. And that's what I wanted to do in the beginning. I was low-key getting irritated because I was like, ugh, this is taking so long. But I feel like whatever the moral of the message for me is, like, valuing humanity. And I felt like we both were very, like, relating to a lot of topics that we've been through in our life, and that, you know, I don't feel like I kept business and personal separate, but at the same time, I value you as a person. And if I didn't know your story, you probably may or may not have gotten charged extra, because at the end of the day, I probably would have been like, oh, for next time, X, Y, and Z, rather than, because on my part, I could have communicated. I should have like said, hey, what hair did you order? You know, something like that, when I had previously asked and I didn't. So that was my bad. I feel like God rewarded me, yes, financially, but that wasn't the principle for me. It was more like being a blessing to this woman by being a listening ear, you know, being able to relate to her on a spiritual level, you know, like spreading his name and his love and his light within that whole conversation. And I didn't even know she was a believer of God. Like, I had no idea. It just was something that was talked about. And I like to pray before my clients so that, you know, whatever energies and spirits come into the house, that they're blessed and that they're okay. And when they leave, they feel amazing and they're great, you know. And that was just a way that even me, right now, I'm very disconnected from God at the moment. But I've been trying to lately get back to listening to my sermons and kind of just started from square one like I did before when I was lost. And I hear God more when you pay attention to him more. And who wouldn't, right? Like, if I listened to a sermon this morning that says, why are you paying something mine that doesn't pay you back? And it's not money. It's not, like, it's more so like, if you're giving a friend your time and they're not giving you theirs, are they really valuable to you? It's not really like an expectation. Imagine I'm giving somebody who doesn't have my best interest all my time, but they don't really want to see me win. I'm not feeding myself anything. Like, there's no point of me having a friendship with this person who really doesn't care about me. And so imagine spending time with God and, like, he's actually showing you, like, yeah, I've been caring about you. Like, you just haven't been around. Like, when you give me your time, best believe you're going to see me. You're going to hear me. When you need me, I'll be there. When you love on me, I'm loving on you. But he loves you regardless, just know that. But, like, God is the one that's always going to be there for you, no matter what. Like, when you're lost, that's the person you call on, right? So it's kind of like, I don't know. I just had to share. I'm not the best, shortest storyteller, but that was something that was, like, really, really sticking out to me. And I have to write that in my spiritual delivery journal just as a reminder that when I started trying to work on my relationship with God again, because I only got disconnected because of myself. And when I'm getting into my next season in life that God wants me to be in, I feel like we all experience counterfeits and things that want to take us back to our old self and take the Holy Spirit out of us and, you know, just have us act really crazy. But I no longer like want to be able to feed into stuff like that. I want to be able to handle things with grace and handle things with love. And even though I'm hurt, like really, really hurt about some things, like that I still come out on the better end of it because I put God first. Because I am doing what God wants me to do. And being loving and being caring. And, you know, setting boundaries is still protecting yourself and the people around you. Like, if boundaries are not just for you, they are for the other people, you know? Because they might not have the capacity to know when to stop. But you do. And so when you know the capacity to stop certain things, you and them, you, me, and them, everybody will be in a better place because someone made a mature decision to say, hey, this is becoming too much and I can't be here right now. We can talk when we are calm, you know, whatever. Like, it's just a whole thing. I just really wanted to share that. And I'm just happy I'm recognizing God, like, always being there. Like, just now, by the way, I was trying to record this video, but my other battery died. I couldn't find my other battery that was charged. And I was like, but I wasn't panicking. Because that's the thing. Another thing that God does for me is when I used to lose stuff, I used to panic all the time. I used to be like, oh my God, where is it? Because I don't know why. It just gives me some type of, oh my gosh, I don't have my life together or something. I don't know. It gives me this crazy feeling. But the first time I had learned, like, okay, God, you probably want me to calm down. So I took a deep breath. I closed my eyes and I calmed down for like 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. When I opened my eyes, what I was looking for was right in my face. It was a pair of green scissors. I was like, God, I know I looked there. That's the crazy part. I know that I looked there. And it was literally right there. And so ever since then, like that moment, I know, like I found my battery and I was not panicked at all. I was just like, okay, let me look deeper. Let me move these around. Let me do this. Let me do that. It was no like, oh my gosh, like, Lord, where is it? It wasn't nothing like that. It was like, over time, you start to believe and trust that God really has you. And so he'll calm your spirit. Like, he will not have you live in that anxiousness and that fear of, oh my gosh, you know, I'll never find this again. And there will be moments where you truly lose things. There will be. And you do have to accept some stuff like that. But for me, like this, I don't know. I feel like God communicates with me the most through actions. Whether that's showing something that I lose or like putting me in a different place in my life. And I feel like that's how I've like witnessed him the most, for sure. He's communicated with me in a dream before. And I have heard like sermons like that I actually needed in that moment for what I was going through. He has communicated through his disciples, for sure. But for me, I guess I could say what I value the most is me being put in the different places in my life, me growing in the different places in my life, and him showing up when I lose stuff. Those are major for me. So yeah, you guys, that's my little story. This is 16 minutes long. I'm sorry. I just had to share that and let you guys know God is really real. Like, even when bad things do happen, please understand that God is there. And when bad things do happen, a lot of us question like, oh, well, if God is real, like, why didn't he, you know, protect the situation, cover it, whatever. And it's hard to like, that question gets me sometimes too. It really does. But it is very understanding that the devil is very well alive too. And there's a lot of people out here who work for the devil. And so Dr. Anita Phillips said, don't confuse the works of my God with the works of the devil. Because he doesn't allow, you know, children to get molested or, you know, our teenage boys, black teenage boys, whoever, to be shot in the middle of the street by police officers and just whatever. God doesn't allow that. God will allow light to come out of that situation. but he doesn't allow that to happen. Like, he doesn't cause that to happen so that a story can be told out of it. That's not that. Everything about God is light, and they're still the devil. That's just what we have to understand. And so those people who decided these things made a choice to operate the way that the devil will want you to. And so that's why bad things happen. And I know it's hard to like kind of like actually really fathom that. For me, it's even baffling for me, but I do understand it, but not fully. But I do understand it. So just even when bad things happen, just still remembering and understanding and knowing that God is still always there for you. Just gotta dig deep in the Bible and learn how to be obedient is really it. So that's my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I guess this is gonna be one full video. I could have included it in a blog, but I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, this whole topic was like really new for me to like actually bring onto my channel. But it was just really like, I need to tell the world, like, even though it might look like something small, I think the small things that God does for us is like really big, like at least to me. Like, he doesn't have to give me a wealthy lifestyle to show me that he's there for me. You know what I mean? Like, I would love that, don't get it twisted. But he doesn't have to show me that in order for me to be like, yeah, like God is real. Like, no, he is real in the situations where I mature. He is real in the situations where I am growing in love with my partner and putting God first, like within our relationship. He is showing himself when he's teaching me how to stop bad habits and how to learn how to set boundaries, but respectfully. And those are the moments when God is really real. Like, and when I say really real, I just mean in general, he's real, period. But like, those are the moments where I know God is showing up for me. He is working in my life. So I had to let you know. But yeah, let me know if you guys like stuff like this. I'm glad that I could talk about this, and I can't wait to upload it, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. I feel great. Love you. Bye.